Newman.
Hell
That was nice.
yeah. All right, here we go.
Are you tripping on this? What do you know? It's trivial to think that we might be insane.
Yo.
Yo. What's up? We're back.
Dope Destination Podcast back again.
What number?
What we talking? I think this is 5, bro. Well, 3 pod and then
Yeah.
5th total.
It gets confusing. So, but no. Yeah, but we're
It
back,
does, but
man. Excuse me.
oh yeah, the cough. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Loud in my ears too.
Is it loud? Do I need to calm
Hell yeah.
myself down a little bit? All right.
No. It was
No.
just that. It was that.
My bad.
Cough.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's gonna be.
Uh
It might
oh.
happen more than once.
That's fine. Anyway, we're doing it. We're doing it remotely this time, guys.
Yes. It's not the same, but it's still pretty cool, man. But
It's pretty cool. It's the only thing I'm noticing is what I was talking about earlier. I'm going to look at you because you're here, but my
yeah.
camera's here, and everybody I'm talking to is right there.
Right. I gotta remember it too. And the
So
hands thing. I don't know what
yeah,
to
we're gonna Ricky Bobby it.
do.
But
Yeah. But
anyway,
we're
we talking about some cool
that's
shit
that's
tonight.
that's one. That's one.
Oh, we're keeping tabs of how many times we do anyway.
Anyway. Up.
Because yeah,
That's another one for
yeah.
you and one for me. And actually
Okay,
we
we're
did one
keeping tabs of that.
before, so we have three. I've got four. All right. I almost said it
Okay,
again.
I'm gonna. Okay, yeah. Okay doesn't count, so we can just use
Okay
okay.
is the next one.
Nah,
But yeah, I'm gonna interrupt you and say
it's okay.
that this is exciting to be here. It's been kind of a frustrating day. We're both kind of grumpy, so it's good to get this steam out and remember where to look. But what are we here to talk about today? Past
We
lives
got
and
we got past lives and astral projection.
yes. If you couldn't hear that in a little
Yeah,
short, I don't know what happened to the audio in that, but
it's okay.
hmm hmm but I
Got your
guess yeah, we're gonna
coffee?
basically. I gotta have my coffee. Almost out already. I should have stocked up in here, but it is what it is. Won't be here too long. We don't like to blabber.
As we blabber.
But basically, what we're gonna hear from each other today, or everyone's gonna hear from each other today, or good God Almighty, you know what I'm trying to say? That we're gonna tell stories from each
Hey,
other.
yeah. So Brett's always told me, and you know that he felt like he had a past life, and he's going to elaborate on that, and I'm going to listen to it more, and we're going to talk about it, and he's going to give us his experiences with it, and then I've actually tried to astral project, and I succeeded, I believe, but I'm going to tell you about that and my story with it, and it's
It's
some
good.
may
It's really freaking cool, man. It's I can't
it,
wait to hear it again. I haven't heard it in a long time, but it's
yeah.
yeah, it's
I'll
crazy. It's crazy, and we got some
I'll keep
illustrations
it.
along with it too. So
Yes,
you
we do
hear
have
that?
some cool illustrations. Yeah, you knocked the crap out of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some cool illustrations of the actual experiences, or you know, like yeah. What and who did those for us,
Oh
Mister
well,
Brett?
some asshole that does this art nearby, and yeah, no, actually, yeah, I drew him up and basically tried to match it up as best we could, or I could, from what he described his experiences from, and from what my experiences is, or my specific uncanny experience with past lives or the past life. Almost only one that I can recollect, but yeah, it was fun doing it, and it depicts it pretty well, I believe. He said it looks pretty close, and of course, illustrations are gonna have a little something that might not be exact, but I wasn't there.
Yeah, it's like a different variance. It's a different perspective on a story, which is cool
Right,
because you tell somebody a story and they capture it, and you're like, that's almost exactly like it was, but with
right.
different cool nuances that illustrations or um, art should have. So
Yeah, I
hell
mean, it's
yeah.
things that are almost impossible to describe accurately and give it any justice, really. But especially, I mean, when it comes to the past life illustration I got here, there's no way I could draw what everything that was encapsulated in the picture, and of course, I couldn't get the whole thing. But anyway,
Right.
That's another one.
Oh,
That's
there's another
that's
one.
five for
Boom.
me already. But yeah, we'll stick with the but
So we'll
yeah.
do this. Yeah.
But past lives.
So I
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's like being
no
on
no
the
no
phone.
no
This is
you get
cool. I can't elbow you in the side, and I keep hitting this microphone.
right.
But
Yeah. It's
basically with past lives, it's a touchy subject for some. Basically, because religions or the way you're brought up or how you're
yeah
supposed to think about things, it's too outside of the box or whatever. But I think it's deeper than any religion. It's way deeper than that, and a lot of evidence from many people that have similar things that happened to me, and actually, psychotherapists and everything have done a lot of studying as well to say that there's something possibly to this. There's too many uncanny things,
yeah.
that
I
happen
actually
happen with these
watched.
people. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
was watching some videos and it was this kid he was remembering stuff. I guess he was his past life or he was in 9/11 or he was in the building during 9/11 and you might have seen this. I don't know, it was kind of I guess it went viral for a little while or whatever, but it was he was remembering stuff and he was like
Mm-hmm.
5 years old, 6 years old and he was telling his mom and dad and they were like, "What are you talking about? Like how do you know this?" Anyway, I
Right.
was just thought that was cool because I was like Brett used to talk about, you know, this. Well, you can elaborate as we go on, but talk
Yeah.
about this certain thing that you would, you know, what you felt as far as
Well, yeah. It
dreams
basically
and
shaped a big part of my life, dude. I mean, it's the way it started for me was a very young age. That's another reason why I think it's something to it. But
which
but
goes with that story of the kid with his parents
mm-hmm.
and
This
he was
yeah, which
very young and yeah,
Yeah, basically, I was going to mention that there's a lot of stories or recollections, or people that have come to psychotherapists or actually come to on documentaries we've seen or things I've read. A lot of kids, like, a lot of kids can remember, their past lives for some reason, and it's mainly kids. And then and I don't know if some forget when they get older, some remember more, some remember less. I can't remember how that's called. It's something blocking. It's like a term they use. But yeah, there's some kids that they remember these vivid memories. Some just have like something that they're into that's just for a weird reason, that they're familiar with something, like they've been there before, or the neighbor was my mommy, or it's stuff like that. It's like, what?
right,
But and it's weird that how all these stories between different people, they mention seeing people in their lives now in this time space, whatever. Um, they're in their past lives, but as a different role. So
hmm.
it's pretty weird. Yeah,
So
there's
it's
a
like a repeat, but in a different
yes. So it's like starting
shell,
over, but
basically.
you're different. Yeah, but you're different characters, and
It's crazy. It
and
kind of sounds like um simulation theory a little bit.
it's weird. It just brings out a lot of questions, man, and it's very, uh, I don't know. It if you think about
It's
it too
crazy.
much, it will actually upset you a little bit, or just feel like you've been thinking something else your whole life, and like, man. But after doing my
Well, a lot of people
research,
have a hard. Oh, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just saying and talking about the religion part, like the reincarnation
Mm,
aspect, like you said, brings up it gets sour real quick with certain
yeah.
religions and stuff. So
Yes,
sorry, yeah,
it does, and
yeah,
the some are they embrace it. Of course, a lot of Eastern religions do. Even the
right,
Greeks, as far back as I think Pythagoras believed he remembered 8 past lives, and he'd help his
good
students
lord.
regress those past lives as well. That's pretty crazy, but I can
Oh
only
yeah, I was
think
looking
I
into
can
past life
one.
regressions.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yep, and that's
like
basically
they do
what.
regressions, like they.
Yeah, hypnosis. Yeah, you can go to a doctor,
Mhm.
and a lot of people go because they have trauma, like a fear of heights, water, fire, or certain type of bug or an animal, or being claustrophobic, or all you name it, all these fears, and they're some of the research that they found by doing this regression or hypnosis that uh, it happens to or ties to what happened to them in their previous life. Like if you drowned, why you might be afraid of why you don't want to swim now, or being buried alive or something like that. That's why you don't like to be in closed spaces. But there's a book that I read, um, gosh, several years ago. It's a really short book. It's about that thick. It's really, really easy read, really quick read. It's by Dr. Brian Weiss. Let's see, make sure I can't remember say his name right. I thought he had passed away. Forgive me, but yeah, he's still kicking. But he still practices privately. But he wrote a book here, and actually, I'm gonna pull this up here. Uh, let's see where are we at. Yeah, this book right here, Many Lives, Many Masters. This tiny little gem here. I had my next door neighbor actually gave me a copy of it, and I read it, and of course I gave it back. But you can get this on paperback or online or audiobook. But basically, it almost pretty much I'm not afraid of dying anymore. Um, but yeah, check this book out. And basically, it follows a couple of his patients, and especially one lady, and goes into detail about all of her lives and everything. And the way it lined up with everything with now and those other lives, it explained her fears and that the people that she knows are in every one of her regressions. And yeah, it's pretty cool. But after I read that, I was not really afraid of dying anymore, because it's like some Eastern beliefs, like you're here for a reason. You keep going and going until you finally reach a certain frequency, or you've learned your lesson or whatever, and you can go to the next level, or you get off this wheel, hop onto the next wheel, and basically become one of the masters eventually. As
You
because
gotta reach the full mark.
Yep, basically, and then and become one of the masters, and basically be one of the like a someone's spirit guide. Like, so that's my spirit guide. You become like a spirit guide possibly. That's I got that from that book. But a lot of interesting things. And no matter what religion you are, they say when you pass away from this shell, you go up into a void, and you're just there, like in space, until you're zoop back into a baby. Some believe that you go up and live with God until all of your family or loved ones from this time have passed on and now are with Him. Then you go back again. Um, that's interesting stuff, man. But I have no idea. And then one thing is, I don't know, man. Well, I did it again. I don't know. I don't know. And if I say I knew, I'd be lying to you. But I strongly believe that there's something to it. It's still ringing, dude. This is a really sensitive mic. You good, bro?
Yeah,
I hope you're not tone deaf now.
that was the loudest
That would
one.
suck,
No, that
was it? I got to do something with that. All right. Even if I touch it, it goes boom, 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 boom. All right. Well, where was I? That was
hold on, I'm the ringing. Yeah, you were talking about.
and me feeling bad about the ringing is distracting me. I'm so sorry, dude. Uh, Tight spaces. But yeah, this book, I recommend you read it. I'm gonna pull it up one more time if you guys didn't catch it the first time. Many Lives, Many Masters, and it's really interesting, and take it with a grain of salt, but at least it's a good read. But kind of helped me work some things out, and kind of put some other things together, the things that have been going or I've been experiencing my whole life. So you want me to get to it? To my experience of
Yeah, get the. I was
the
gonna say where did it start? And ooh, that's hot. Where did
well,
it?
basically what happened. I was probably about 4 years old. My dad came home from work one day, and he had one of the a fake, Civil War kepi, a soldier's hat. Basically, it was in a great little gray one, and it was one of the fake ones from the local battlefield at Bentonville. And I grabbed it and looked at it, and just instantly just got, I don't know, like a familiar feeling, and it's just instant interest. I was like, "Where did you get this, Dad?" And he told me, and we went as soon as we could. We went, and I spent most of my childhood there. Um, Now, eventually, my dad didn't think I would be that interested into the American Civil War. Um, but when we went to Gettysburg the first time, I believe I was 8 years old, and I'll tell you about something else before this too. I was actually reading books like adults read about the Civil War. Very little pictures, at a very young age, like kindergarten, and just so interested in it. Just couldn't. I didn't know what half the words I was reading meant, but just seeing the pictures and I don't know. I used to call battalions battle lions because it felt like that. Anyway, oh, there's another one. It should be a drinking game.
uh,
But so we went to Gettysburg. I believe it was in 1988 or 89. I think it was the year before the 125th anniversary of the battle. It took place in 1863 in July. And anyway, we went up. There's another one. We went to the battlefield there, and my dad thought, we went there, we go look at the cannons, and we could be around there just half a day, and I'd get bored and go. And there's almost, I think, 2,000 markers there, and I know I didn't see them all, but I saw most of like, anyone you could see. I went to it and I read every one of them to where my dad was actually the one that was ready to leave. But we got to a certain point of the battlefield is I would show you a map, but I didn't get to pull it up. But when we pulled up on the area there and we walked up to the certain spot, I just got this sudden just feeling of sadness and like just sad. I don't know. At that age, you'd equivalent to I guess seeing your dog get smashed by a truck right in front of you. It's just like a devastating like ah. And then I started getting a really bad stomach ache, right around to the right side of my belly button, and I was having a pain in my lower right side. Um, my dad's like, oh, we need to go. So gathered myself and he got me and we walked away and we got good distance away almost to the car and it just went away. It went away. And that was weird. It was so weird. But
yeah, that sounds.
yeah, it was weird. And I've heard of that happening to people, just triggers of something, if you've been there before, something happened there very intense before, but it's peaceful now, but you're still feeling the violence from it or the sad, whatever the
Yeah,
emotions are.
I heard it's heavy there, like
It,
heavy feeling.
it has its moments. There's
Yeah.
times it doesn't really, you don't feel anything. I have several paranormal experiences there from doing reenacting for many years there. But that as the years went on, I did more research and everything, and I'd go back to Gettysburg, and I'd get that same pain, and that just a feeling of depressed or I'm sad, or just for some reason I feel like like this, I don't feel good. Um, and I look at the terrain, and then just one day, it just hit me like I don't know why, memories just hit you and they were blocked before, but from a very young age, I think around the time that I got the kepi, I didn't know anything about the Civil War. I didn't know anything about war, really. Maybe GI Joe, but
Right.
but I would have these nightmares, like vivid nightmares, and it was a battle. Like I was marching. I'm getting chills right now. I was, I was, I was in the Civil War. I noticed I'm marching in a column, which is when they march by, and there's four guys and they're marching down the road, and then the orders were to turn into line of battle, and we did that maneuver, and then the engineers were they're busting up fences in front of us. My voice is shaking. Anyway, so we start pushing forward. You can see the enemy up on the ridge, but in that dream, the landscape is identical to that spot that I go to and have that pain and those bad feelings. My voice is shaking. It's weird talking about this since I feel like I'm talking to the world right now, not just you. Um,
Right.
it
But
makes
you're
me
just talking
feel
to me as
uneasy.
well.
Yeah, I know, but
I
possibly
do want to
more people will
pause
see
there
this. But yeah, go ahead.
and just right on that spot because I'm looking at my notes and it was like reoccurring dreams and the know they say it's emotionally intense when you're dreaming or revisiting a past life and eerily familiar. So that's kind of crazy
You can
that
say
you're
that.
yeah, yeah.
Eerie. I don't
And
know if
even
eerie is the word. It's depends, I
well
guess,
like
what
familiar
the yeah, yeah.
and settings like
Mm,
descriptive settings of where these lives took
right.
place in certain incidents
Hmm.
where everything vividly detailed or whatever
Well, for some
encounters or
reason,
whatever.
it's like you walk into a place or
Yeah.
like a quick side note on like deja vu. Like I had a dream when I was around the same age of my stepmom's mom. We're walking up to her house and she pops out the door and she's like, "Well, hello guys, how's it going?" It's like the colors, everything, like, and we finally that happened one day, and I stopped my dad and I was like, "This has happened before, like I dreamed about this." And he's like, "Oh," he's like, and he just kept on going. But he secretly
Right.
believed in all this stuff. I didn't find out till before he passed. But really, we didn't really get into it till right before he passed, which is weird. But
Okay, so you're having this dream, you're going
mm-hmm,
up to you see the enemy, and
yes,
this is another thing I checked out, unexplained knowledge. Like you said, you didn't know nothing about the Civil War, and
mm-mm.
then
No, well, the details of
you're
war,
dreaming about this fucking, battle that took place. So
right,
keep going. Sorry,
right, and
but I
I
just
mean,
wanted to point
yeah,
those out.
thank you, because you know me, my brain goes into 8 different directions, and I get lost in the woods. But
I'm
yeah,
just saying it's tying into what you're telling me,
yeah,
all these
exactly,
things.
exactly. Like all this stuff is like in this dream. So I've never been in combat in this lifetime, but I feel like I know exactly what it feels like, just from this dream. As we're approaching the enemy, you can just see the massive blue up ahead. Of course, I was obviously a Confederate soldier, probably about 16 years old. I felt very young. To my left and right were people I knew, classmates in this life, and two of them that were strangely obsessed with the Civil War as well. And we met each other not knowing that we were all
Oh,
three. One has passed away. He died in the 5th grade, and is actually my best friend, Gray. But he and Frank, they were in the dream. They were beside me, and they were the only two people my age that knew anything about it or cared about it. We used to like do
or gave a
we
shit.
we used to march around at on the playground. I had uniforms for everybody, so we'd wear them to school. And in the playground, we would start
Oh
marching around in
God.
formation and stuff. It was hilarious. Anyway, there's another one. Boop. But no, as we're approaching the enemy, and I'm looking, I've seen all these people, mainly young folks, some older people that look very familiar. Actually, one of the reenactors I know or knew, I believe it one. It's weird. It's kind of coming back, but basically, and then what starts happening, you start hearing, the projectiles, bullets, maybe grape shot, because I knew there's artillery off to my right, maybe about 2 o'clock high on the ridge. Grape shot, solid shot was coming through, and just imagine the sounds. And if you hear the short that I made, for this episode, the noises for that, those are actually real projectiles that were recorded at a range by artillery and everything. So that's basically what it was. It's all around you, but it's within you. Just the concussion, the smells. The smell of fresh dirt being kicked up, the smell of vomit, the smell of shit, the all the smells you can imagine in that moment in a hot July sun, early morning. I guess it was the morning time, had to have been if that was that part of the battle, or it could have been on third day. I don't know, but it's still it was so vivid. The sounds, the screams, the cussing, people crying for their mom. It's like so cliche, but mama and just the shrieks that you couldn't imagine coming out of a grown man.
Well, they were young boys too. I mean, a lot of people that were fighting were
Well, yeah.
probably weren't even over age of 18, 19. So it
Well,
makes
the
sense that they were
average, yeah.
mommy,
By that time during the war,
especially
the average age was 18 to 25.
right.
And then
And
later in the war,
you
yeah,
felt
more.
16,
Yeah, I was
so
a teenager. It probably lied about my age. So they did not let you in until you're 18 unless you lied about
right.
it. But until later on, they didn't care. Uh, but no, we're approaching. You're hearing the thuds, bones cracking, just these horrible noises. I can't even remember it all right now. But we get close enough. You're hearing the sergeants behind us cussing to keep going, or where are you going, boy, or get over here. The officers saying, "Come on." Then we get close enough. I guess probably about 50 yards. I'm guessing. I hear the enemy's commander somehow, but either had an Irish accent or a New York accent. But you hear the ready aim, and it says "Pirate in boys," and then a flash, and then I wake up. And I've had that
Oh
dream maybe 4 or 5 times in my lifetime. And a couple years ago was the last time I had it, but I haven't had it really since. But I am obsessed with that war, man. And
you got popped in the guts, bro.
yeah, I
You
believe so.
that
Oh,
was well.
and another thing, I have a birthmark right there. I would show you, but
Oh
and
shit. I
it
mean,
only shows up after I get out of the shower. It's like the only red spot on my belly, and it's like torn looking. It's not perfect, but it's like jagged, kind of. And I don't know. I may have a scar on my back, but I don't know. That could be from anything, zit or something.
Right.
But no, man.
Okay, that's it.
That was hard talking about, bro. I didn't think it would be that hard to talk about. And
Yeah, I was
now it's
like,
out in the
dang,
world,
man, you
dude.
good?
Yeah, I'm still
Well,
shaking, dude. But
not yet, but it will be.
but if anyone else out there has had something like that, please put it in the comments, dude, because that would help me. But having that
But
dream and then
pop,
having just everything, just the interests and just familiarities of everything, and just being in love with that time period. I hate electricity. We'll talk about that on another episode. A bunch of weird shit, and it's almost too much to believe. I mean, but whatever. But that's my story about past lives, and there's so much more you could talk about that. But I've talked enough.
but
But I want to hear your
pull
story,
pull
dude.
the pull
Oh,
the picture up and describe it
the
a
thing I
little
just
bit. I
spent three
want to see
days
it
on.
too.
I was about to
Right?
totally forget
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
All right, well, this is what I'm about to show here is the best thing I could do in a 3-day picture. Is that the right one? Yeah. This is only what I could see basically right in front of me. I wish I could show you more to my left and right, but it would probably take me about a month to do and make it look real. But yeah, this is basically the best depiction. You see the guy's getting his melon popped by a solid shot, and yeah, and Keanu Reeves, I
What
guess, right there. I don't know. That guy looks like
what
either looks
what
like a.
happened?
Go ahead.
Yeah, what happened to him? He's got something coming out of the throat. He got shot in the throat, maybe, or is that
I
too
don't
much
know.
in?
It could be grape shot. I don't know if it's something. I don't know. It's something. It's an exit wound, basically.
Oh, I see something interesting with the NC. So you were with I guess they
Yeah.
call them chapters, right?
Well, no, they're just regiments. Just the regiments.
Regiments. That's what I meant.
I believe it was the 51st or the 55th. I couldn't remember. I couldn't tell. It's 50 something or this. I don't know, 60 something, 50 something. I put a 51 in there, I think. But on that part of the battlefield, those regiments were there. I think the 5th North Carolina was there as well. And I had ancestors in
Uh,
all of those regiments, which is interesting.
Crazy.
So, but yeah, dude,
So
it's
is this right before you wake up and get the white light, or is this like
no, no.
a
This is
couple
like after they start opening up on us. It's like as soon as we went from, I guess, yeah, basically, let me go back. But basically, once we went from going down the road, going down the road, and then we would turn into line of battle, wheeled around to were parallel with the
right?
road to go into the field. And then that's when they really freaking opened up and just, what you see here is really nothing compared to what I couldn't depict it all. You just see blood everywhere, and but yeah, that's
Right.
but basically once you see up here, see there's the fence right there. There was guys up there tearing the fence down. They get sent like a company out, I
Right.
guess. But once we got up right past that fence is when I basically wake up. So, woo.
Ah,
Yeah, man. I might continue that thing. I just might add on sections to it, like a panel thing. That's the picture there, and hopefully, I don't know if there was audio during that or not, but if not, you missed some good stuff.
yeah.
I
And
don't
then
know if I don't know if
we'll
I want
just
to
do it
talk about that
again.
again, but it's
It's
cool,
okay.
man. But yeah, but yeah, like I said before that, I don't know if it caught that part, but there's so much more we could talk about this actual subject or deja vu or whatever. But I'm itching to hear your story, dude, about your dabbling into something we've been talking about for a long time, and something that I had talked to you about, experiencing with somebody before. But let's hear your story, bro, and
Right.
your adventure to it and from it, and what you got
The
from it.
God. Well, it all started. The funny thing is, like researching it on my own, and I'm always been into this, the unknown and this crazy stuff, but I never really researched astral projection. What got me into astral projection was fucking 311 and countless songs or essays talking about astral projection and
Yeah,
and all the trips and
oh, yeah.
all that stuff, which I think is funny because
Huge
that's
part of
what
his
got me
life.
interested in it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I want to know what he's talking. I mean, I want to experience what he's talking about. And I didn't do psychedelics at that time, or I've never had done anything. So I was like, oh, cool. I can just try to learn how to astral project And yeah, Brett was probably diving into them at a.
Yeah, been listening to
But
311 a
in my
long time
case,
now.
yeah, I hadn't even done anything like that, so I was like, okay, well, what can I do? So I started researching astral projection, and I didn't research it enough, evidently, because I'm decently patient when it comes to things like this, but I just wanted to know the ins and outs, and I wasn't trying to like go 400 miles per hour straight into it. I was gonna, give the due diligence. So I started just researching. You got to meditate, and you got to, do it several times. And obviously, you can meditate and astral project, but you got to get into these deep meditations because it's supposed to work your way up into this. So I start. I don't have time at the time. I couldn't meditate for hours, so I would do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I could tell I was like, okay, cool. I'm getting better. I'm getting a little deeper. More. I guess the silence takes in, and
Right.
your inner self. You can tell you're doing better,
Quick
and I'm like,
question.
okay, cool.
How long did
Yo,
it take you to get the noise? Like it takes a long time to get that noise out of your head. When you're trying to meditate, all the thoughts and just that noise. How long did it take you to like?
yeah. At first, I couldn't get none of that out. I think it was about because like I said, I didn't do it long because I'll explain later.
Mm,
I didn't do it as long as I should have, but I got to the point where I could just. I don't know if the noise would block it. I just wouldn't be thinking about anything. I would just be present, and everything was just. I couldn't hear
just
anything really. It was
be,
just
just be.
I get what do you be zen, whatever you want to call it. I was just really relaxed and I
Right.
was comfortable. It was
Yep.
weird, but I did them enough to where I was like, okay, cool. I can kind of meditate. I'm definitely not pro, or I don't really know exactly 100% what I'm doing, but I'm trying. So I'm like, okay, so I got to keep doing this. I got to get my things out. So I start researching more, and I'm like, what can help me, get there quicker or get better at it? And there's binaural music or beats,
Ooh,
and I'm like, I don't want to do the beats, but the songs or music, I
don't
tried
trust
those out,
YouTube.
and yeah, was some of those I did look up, and I actually like the music. It's
Yeah.
very soothing.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sometimes I would
Really.
sleep to it, or soundscapes or whatever, stuff like that. But the binaural is there's a register or notes or whatever that are supposed to help you get there
Hmm.
or whatever. And so I started doing that, and I would, lay in bed and do my meditating, and then listen to the music, and I start feeling it. I'm like, okay, that's all I'm gonna do. And I was trying to be good about it, and I never thought to look at the do's and don'ts and what you shouldn't do and what the consequences of these things are if you don't do them properly. And this one night, I want to say it was probably a month or two into like trying this stuff or researching, or I didn't do it just. I should have done way more, but I didn't look into any of this shit. So I'm laying there one night. It's like I said, about a month and a half, somewhere around there. It wasn't long, and laying in bed, and I got the music going, and I just start falling into this deep one. Like it hit me real quick. Like I got there fast, and everything just went. Just it's like zzz, silence, and I could literally feel myself like coming up, but my body wasn't. And then I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I'm doing it. I could still remember being like, oh shit, I'm coming up. I'm lifting. But I wasn't lifting. That was obviously my fucking soul, I guess, is what it was. Um, or my astral body, my
Mm.
astral, yeah, yeah. So I can feel it, and I'm not ready, and I know I'm not ready, and I don't know what to do, but if it's working, and then before I can do it, I'm up. I can tell I'm up. I fucking dart off into this fucking unknown, like I'm gone, like, and then and and just I can tell I'm gone. I can see myself flying through fucking space. There's shit whizzing by me, and then all of a sudden, I'm in a car, a fucking car going down the interstate, and I'm looking around and I'm driving, and it's me looking through somebody else's is the way I describe it. I'm in another vessel, but it's me.
Mm.
I'm like we were talking earlier. I was the role of this person I was with, and we're driving, and I got these people beside me, and they're like hanging out. They're like college kids, and they're, you know, goofing off and pointing at me and like, yo, hanging out the window. And I'm like, yeah. And I don't know these people, but I do know them. I've never seen them in my life, but I felt connected to what I was in. And I'm like, oh, that's such and such and such and such, my homies. So I'm driving and I'm kind of cutting up, swerving at them, you know, and we're getting along pretty good. And next thing I know, they pull up around and they're going. I guess I'm not sure where we're going, but I think obviously we're going to hang out and we're all going somewhere together. And I get up, he gets in front of me, well, they get in front of me, and I'm still riding in the fast lane, no, slow lane. So I get behind them. For whatever reason, they veered off, and I keep going straight. And I can't remember what I was doing. I was maybe grabbing something or looking for my phone or something, or
So
his
weird
phone,
details, dude. Wow.
whatever. And then I look up, and there's these giant hay barrels, you know, not the little ones, the ones they roll up in the fields are fucking taller than you.
Mhm.
And there's like 4 or 5 of them. So there's kind of staggering. And there's a trailer up ahead I could see that it's falling off of. So they're rolling off this
shit.
trailer. And
I didn't remember the hay bale part, man. That's
yeah,
the reason for
and
the
then
crash.
yeah, so I'm swerving and I hit one of these things and it just, I mean, it hit hard. And I mean, I go straight down to the median, which is a ditch, and then there's cable railing in the ditch. And I just remember the hit of the hay. Obviously, a car weighs more than a hay, but those hay bales are pretty fucking
Oh, they're
heavy, I
solid,
imagine.
dude.
Solid as a rock. So when it hit, I mean, I just seen the hoods go crunch up, and I just start nose diving into this median, and I guess it's got a, you know, steep little ditch, and I hit that, and it just stops, and you know the car smoking, and then like instantly once I hit, I'm already out of the car, and I'm behind the car looking through the back glass, and then I'm like, what the fuck? And then these medical and cops and ambulances are coming, and then this kid or dude just appears in front of me, and he's looking into the passenger window through to the driver's side, looking at himself, which is his body there, and he looks at me, and I'm looking back at him, and I'm like, I'm just kind of standing there like, and he looks at me and looks at himself, and he's like pointing at me like what are you? Who are you? And I'm like looking back at him like, I don't know, dude. I don't know who am I? Like I'm me, motherfucker. Like who are you?
God,
But
poor
he's
dude, man.
just looking at me, and he looks at me, and he's just like in disbelief, like because obviously he don't know who the fuck I am. I don't know who he is, but he sees me, and I'm shocked that he sees me.
So like, okay, so the scenes, the crash scenes there, he sees everything that's supposed to be there, and he notices that you're not like
Well,
there, like you're from another, like
he
another thing.
I guess I'm yeah. He knows that I'm
Not a
not
specter, but a
I'm not a specter. I didn't just show up and say, "Oh, you're okay, dude," because he knows he's looking at his dead self. He died.
right. He knows
he
he's yeah. But it's like, why are you
yeah. He's looking at himself,
sharing this
and
moment with
he's like,
me?
well, he's like, yeah, I'm out of my body, and that's me dead.
But
You see me, like I'm looking at him. So in his mind, he's like, who? How do you see me? Because I'm actually right there dead. But this is obviously my spirit.
so no one's talking.
Yeah.
It's all thought. Like
Yeah.
you're
So he's
communicating-
like,
okay, wow, dude.
yeah, he's not saying anything. He's just giving me the look,
Thinking.
like, how the fuck are you seeing me
okay.
right now? Because yeah, he's just like, and then I could hear him, but he
Okay.
wasn't talking. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's what I mean. Yeah, yeah. Kind of like an alien would talk to you.
I guess, but yeah, I guess if you're in the spiritual
Telepathically, yeah.
plane or whatever, you don't need to talk, you know?
Yeah.
I guess.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Well, that's what. Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense to me too.
Yeah, but like I said, he was obviously aware of me, and he knew that his body was in there, and he's out of his body. So anybody on that scene can't see him in that form, but me. So I'm freaking out because I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what's going on. And the next thing I know, I zip back out. I mean, just as fast as I came in, and I'm like, Oh yeah, and then I fucking wake up and I'm under my bed, like underneath face first, and I try to get up. It's dark as shit, and I try to get up and I hit the top of my bed. I'm like, what the? And I look, I start freaking out,
There's no way you
and
did
before,
everything. There's no
and my
way.
bed was pretty low. I mean,
It
you could get a
was.
body in there,
But
but I was under there, and before I could get out, I was still in darkness, and these fucking grids, like lines, and I guess I don't know if you've ever seen I don't know, it's like a circuit board. They were all
man.
doing this, like my eyes
Oh
were
yeah,
open. I
yeah,
could
yeah,
see them. It
yeah.
was it was like my brain reconnecting,
Mm-hmm.
or the circuits were trying to reconnect.
I've
And I'm
seen
sitting
that.
there like, what the yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm rubbing my eyes and it's still there. I can still see them going zip, 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 zip. And then finally they stop and I'm crawled up under the bed and I'm like, what in the fuck is going? How did I get under this motherfucker? Like, what the hell?
Uh,
Anyway, I go to bed. This coming to the conclusion. I go to bed. I kind of freaked out, and I'm like, and at the time, I'm like, that was just a fucking lucid dream. It could have been a lucid dream. I'm not saying it wasn't that, but I just went to bed. It took me 15, 20 minutes because I was just like, that was the realest shit I've ever experienced. If it was a dream, there was no dream ever that was that real and that vivid. And I could sense things. I could feel wind. I could touch, the car. I could feel things, see things, hear things very vividly. So anyway, the next day I went to work and I'm like, that shit's just too fucking weird. Like, I'm gonna look up if there was a wreck involving hay barrels in the road, and I just started googling interstate wreck with hay barrels or trailer drops. And sure enough, the day the day that shit happened, there was a I can't remember. I wish I would have wrote this shit down or like just took screenshots. There was I can't remember if it's Canada, it was somewhere in the Midwest that shit happened, and there was a fatality.
how old was this
And
dude? You say kid, but it's got to be like a college
I say
person,
kid. I say kid
college kid.
because I was probably 20. No, I was probably 31. So
Yeah,
he
you
was
were around.
probably,
Yeah. Mm,
yeah, 31. He was probably 25, 6.
okay, fresh
If I
out
had to
of.
guess, he could,
Yeah,
yeah,
he would have
he
been
was
middle
college.
school, graduate
Yeah,
school.
or he could have been out and just looked younger like I do, I guess. I don't know. But I seen that and I immediately freaked out. And then I didn't want to jump to a conclusion because I didn't have enough information to say that's what it was or
It's a
not.
lot.
Because you couldn't
It's a lot to
I
process.
couldn't see pictures. But I did see that scene. There was a picture with the scene of the accident and it looked almost identical to what was
Dude,
there.
we got to find this.
And
We got to find
I'm
this,
sure
man.
it's still there. I can tell you the year. I know what year it was at
Mhm.
least. But
What,
yeah, that shit.
2017?
I want to say it was 2017. I'm pretty sure it's 17.
I thought
If
it
it
was
wasn't, it was late 16.
right. I was thinking Pennsylvania for some
So
reason. But that's
yeah,
that
and
is insane, bro. I mean, that's and
yeah,
just what gets me is you're getting there. This is someone's final moment, and I know you felt like yourself, but you actually knew what it was like to be somebody else for a moment. And I guess
yeah. I think I tapped in. I went too far, obviously, way
mm-hmm.
fast. I shot into someone's end.
Yeah,
Maybe I don't know if that's what I just happened to channel in through him. I don't
right.
know if that's what reasoning and rhyme to it. And then this funny thing is the do's and don'ts to this shit,
Right.
starting familiar places and big
Yeah.
oops to me because you're supposed to, according to the research, you're supposed to kind of get up, look at your body, walk around your room or your bed, and then notice certain things, and then just go back in. And then the next time you're supposed to
Right. Baby
come
steps.
out, go to the hallway, go to your living room, look at something you wouldn't normally look at, and then come back.
Right.
Always keeping connected to your silver cord, which supposedly never leaves you. And then as after that, you start venturing outside. Don't leave yet. You go outside and look at something in the yard and then come back. Always go back and look at your body
Right.
before you enter. Just to connect, I guess. I'm not sure the full benefits of that.
Well,
But
it's just
then
it's just like when you're in the woods, so you don't get lost. You always keep a line of sight, a point, and you
Right.
always make
It
sure you
makes
check
sense.
that point. You know, it's all. It's amazing how things that just common sense things they're universal. You know, just
Right.
you know, just
But
the way things go.
if you don't read that, you don't know. And
Oh
then
no,
if you're
no,
not
no,
trained, yeah,
no.
like
Mm-mm.
it sounds common sense, but when you go to sleep and you're meditating and you fucking lift up and you're like, oh
Right.
fuck, and then you're just like, doo, 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 I'm gone, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck it. That
Yeah.
was, you know, and
Well,
if
yeah.
you don't read, you're not gonna know. So
Right. Right. When that and that aspect, yeah, you're going for the ride. Basically, you just opened yourself up to just straight on full throttle, and especially with your mind, man. It's yeah. No wonder you went. You didn't go past Pluto or something, man. But
I took off like a fucking dart, dude. And
yeah.
I think I was just like, I got slingshot. And then wherever
Mm,
I landed, I landed. That was just how it was. I was like, oh
right.
shit. Oh, I'm driving. It's like,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, you're one of the ones that things happen to a lot. It just or you got the thing. I dropped to something, but I've got to put something underneath this mic stand so it won't vibrate. Hardwood floors, bro. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy, man. But yeah, we do have a visual aid for this story here. I'm not sure
We
if
might
Brett
not have
has,
audio during this.
but do you want to say anything
Uh,
about it before I bring it up?
before he brings it up. And basically, yeah, it's just the projection pic. This is what Brett came up with after I told him. And yeah, take a look. We'll leave it up there for about 30 seconds. And if we'll talk, and if it doesn't show up, then great.
All
Or not
right,
great. Fuck it.
here we go. Check it out. All right, you ready for this, dude?
Go for it. Boom. That's it right there.
Look at that.
Fucking
Like what the
look at
fuck?
that. I'm like, what the fuck? The dude's like, yep. And then there's my silver cord, still connected.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
just yeah, man. That was fun. I'm gonna just keep working on that too. So
I love that shit.
yeah, it was fun,
And then
man.
the under the bed one's funny
Ah,
because
yeah. I didn't realize you said it was still nighttime for some reason. I thought you woke up in the morning under the bed. I don't know why, but
no,
yeah,
it was probably 4 in the morning. Nah, it was probably like 2 in the morning, which I don't want to. I can't remember. It was wee hours.
no. All right, well, check it out. This is old Zacky Poo waking up like yeah.
That's how it was, dude. It was tight as hell. I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't get up.
Oh man, you didn't have purple sheets, but it just looked prettier. I think they
Yeah,
were
I
gray.
didn't have a black comforter though.
But yeah, dude, that's yeah. That could be the moonlight. But
There
anyway,
you go. Or street lamp,
that was fun
street
doing
or
that.
yard. Hell yeah.
But yeah,
But
that's
anyway,
I don't know what to
that's our
say. That's
stories.
it. That's our stories. We have more, but let us know what you
If you
think.
got any of your own stories, share them with us. Fuck
Please,
yeah, in the
heck yeah,
comments.
and we'll share them on here. We'll do an episode of people that have their stories, and we'll be happy to share them and get them out to the world. So, but it's been fun, man. A little bit of here and there of learning new things. We're gonna keep doing. We're good at flubbing stuff. It's actually kind of fun. Makes it fun. But if y'all are still here, appreciate it, and we'll be back at you next time really soon with something else spooky or unbelievable. What do you
That's
think?
right.
That's right, bro.
The-
All right.
All right, bro. Dope Destination Podcast out, bitch. We'll be see you next time.
Peace, peace.
Outsies. Outs. I don't say
Peace.
outsies. Out
We never
later.
say outsies, but that,
No, we
whatever.
never say anyway.
Oh,
Mark me down. I still win.
dude, you only got 4. I have 7. I probably had more I forgot to write down. Anyway.
Are you tripping on me?